There are 4 fruits that men over 60 eat daily, thinking they're healthy, but they're quietly destroying testosterone, choking circulation, and stealing your bedroom confidence. Watch this video till the end to know the secret reality of these 4 fruits, which are not good for your manhood strength. I'm Dr. Christine Rodriguez, and for over a decade I've specialized in men's hormonal health and vascular optimization. What I'm about to show you is an opinion. It's metabolic science that most doctors overlook because they're trained to treat symptoms, not optimize your internal chemistry. Here's the truth most men never hear. Not all fruit is good for aging men. Some fruits spike estrogen, trigger insulin resistance, and destroy nitric oxide, the molecule responsible for firm, reliable erections. But there are 4 other fruits that repair blood flow, protect testosterone, and restore intimacy naturally. Today, I'm walking you through the 4 fruits you should eliminate after 60, and the 4 you should eat daily if you want your energy, drive, and performance back. But before we get to the list, you need to understand why these fruits behave so differently in an aging male body, because if you skip this part, you'll make the same mistake most men make, eating healthy and still feeling terrible. Why fruit affects aging men differently. Let me explain something most doctors won't tell you, because they either don't know it or they don't think it matters enough to mention. After 60, your body processes fruit completely differently than it did at 30 or 40. It's not just about calories or vitamins, it's about how specific compounds in fruit interact with your hormonal axis, your insulin response, and your vascular system. Here's what changes. Your insulin sensitivity declines. That means when sugar hits your bloodstream, even natural fruit sugar, your pancreas has to work harder to clear it. And every time insulin spikes, testosterone drops. It's not a theory. It's documented endocrine physiology. At the same time, your liver's detoxification pathways slow down. That means environmental estrogens, pesticides, herbicides, chemicals sprayed on fruit stay in your system longer. They linger, they accumulate, and they compete with your natural testosterone for receptor sites. Third, your nitric oxide production declines by about 40% after age 60. Nitric oxide is the molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and open. Without it, circulation suffers, erections weaken, energy drops. And certain fruits, especially high sugar, low antioxidant ones, actively destroy what little nitric oxide you have left. So when I tell you to avoid certain fruits, it's not about being extreme. It's about recognizing that your body's operating system has changed. What worked at 35 doesn't work at 65. The goal isn't to avoid all fruit. The goal is to choose strategically fruits that support testosterone, protect circulation, and don't spike insulin unnecessarily. And the first fruit most men need to eliminate, it's sitting in fruit bowls across the country right now, praised as heart healthy. But for aging men, it's a hormonal disaster waiting to happen. Fruit number 1 to avoid. Grapes. The estrogen trap. Grapes look innocent, small, sweet, easy to snack on. Most men think they're getting antioxidants, resveratrol, flavonoids, all the compounds you hear about in heart health studies. But here's what those studies don't tell you. Unless you're buying organic, grapes are one of the most heavily pesticide-contaminated fruits in commercial agriculture. The Environmental Working Group consistently ranks grapes in the top 5 of their dirty dozen list. That means conventional grapes carry residues from multiple pesticides, some of which are classified as xenoestrogens. Xenoestrogens are synthetic chemicals that mimic estrogen in the human body. When you consume them regularly, they flood your system and compete with your natural testosterone. Over time, this creates a hormonal imbalance that shows up as lower libido, stubborn belly fat, prostate inflammation, and weaker, less reliable erections. One study published in Environmental Health Perspectives found that men with higher pesticide exposure had measurably lower testosterone levels and reduced sperm quality. These aren't theoretical risks. This is documented endocrine disruption. I had a patient named Robert, age 64, who came to me frustrated. He was eating clean, exercising regularly, but his morning firmness had disappeared. His energy was flat. He couldn't figure out what was wrong. When we reviewed his diet, he was eating a large bowl of grapes every afternoon, non-organic from a big box store. We eliminated them completely and replaced them with organic pomegranate seeds. Within 3 weeks, his morning erections returned. His energy improved. He told me, "I didn't realize something so small could make such a big difference. It's not that grapes are poisonous, but for men over 60 with already declining testosterone, even small sources of estrogen exposure add up. Your body doesn't have the hormonal margin it used to. If you love grapes, buy organic and eat them sparingly, maybe once a week, not daily. And avoid grape juice entirely. It's concentrated sugar with even higher pesticide residue. Still with me? Good. Because the next fruit is even more common, and it's hiding in plain sight in most men's kitchens right now. Fruit number 2 to avoid: canned fruit cocktail, the sugar bomb. Canned fruit cocktail. It comes in those convenient little cups. Colorful, soft, easy to chew. For many men over 60, it's become a breakfast staple, sitting right next to their morning medications. It feels harmless. It even feels healthy. But what most men don't realize is that these fruit cups are a metabolic trap disguised as nutrition. Here's the problem. The fruit isn't the issue, it's what the fruit is sitting in. Most canned fruit is packed in heavy syrup, light syrup, or fruit juice from concentrate, which is just another name for concentrated sugar. When you eat that fruit, you're getting a massive dose of simple sugars that hit your bloodstream like a tidal wave. Your insulin spikes. Your blood sugar crashes an hour later, and during that entire window, your testosterone is suppressed. Insulin and testosterone operate on opposite ends of a hormonal seesaw. When one goes up, the other goes down. But it gets worse. High fructose corn syrup, the main ingredient in those syrups, has been directly linked to fatty liver disease, increased estrogen production, and reduced testosterone synthesis. A study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that men who consumed high amounts of fructose had significantly lower free testosterone levels within just 2 weeks. And here's the part nobody talks about. Canned fruit has been sitting in that syrup for months. Sometimes years. The fruit loses its fiber during processing. It's been heat-treated, chemically preserved, and stripped of most of its enzyme activity. What you're left with is sugar-soaked mush that your body treats like candy, not nutrition. I had a patient named Gerald, age 71, who'd been eating fruit cocktail cups every morning for over a decade. He was dealing with chronic fatigue, brain fog, and had completely lost sexual desire. He thought it was just aging. When we eliminated those cups and switched him to fresh berries with Greek yogurt, his energy returned within 2 weeks. His mental clarity improved, and slowly, his intimate function began to recover. Even the no-sugar-added versions aren't safe. They still contain fruit that's been processed, preserved, and sitting in liquid for months. The nutrient density is almost zero. If you want convenience, buy fresh fruit and prep it yourself on Sunday for the week. Your body will thank you. Now, if you think canned fruit is bad, wait until you hear about the next one, because this fruit is fresh, popular, and doctors actually recommend it. But for aging men, it might be quietly draining your drive every single morning. Fruit number 3 to avoid: bananas, the drive killer. Bananas are everywhere. They're soft, portable, and universally recommended as a healthy snack. Most doctors will tell you they're great for potassium, heart health, and energy. But for men over 60, especially men struggling with low energy, weight gain, or intimacy issues, bananas might be doing more harm than good. Here's why. Bananas, particularly the ripe sweet ones most people prefer, are loaded with simple sugars. A single medium banana contains about 14 grams of sugar and 27 grams of carbohydrates. When you eat one on an empty stomach, those sugars hit your bloodstream fast. Your insulin spikes. And when insulin goes up repeatedly throughout the day, your body becomes less sensitive to it over time. That's called insulin resistance, and it's one of the leading causes of low testosterone in aging men. But there's a second issue that most men don't know about. Bananas are high in tryptophan, the amino acid that converts to serotonin in your brain. Now, serotonin is important for mood regulation, but too much serotonin, especially at the wrong time, can make you feel emotionally flat, mentally foggy, or physically lethargic. Several of my patients have reported feeling drowsy or unmotivated after eating bananas for breakfast, and here's where it affects your intimate life. High serotonin levels can actually blunt your physical responsiveness. You feel calm, maybe even too calm. Your arousal threshold drops. Your excitement diminishes. It's subtle, but over time, it shows up as reduced desire and weaker physical engagement. I'm not saying bananas are toxic, but if you're eating 1 or 2 every day and you're noticing lower drive, softer morning function, or emotional flatness, it's worth experimenting with elimination. I had a patient named Michael, age 68, who loved bananas. He ate one every morning with his oatmeal, thinking he was doing something healthy, but he complained of constant afternoon crashes and had lost all interest in intimacy. We removed bananas for 30 days and replaced them with a small serving of berries and a handful of walnuts. Within 2 weeks, his energy stabilized. His mental clarity improved, and by week 4, he told me his morning firmness had returned, something he hadn't experienced in over a year. Again, this isn't about demonizing one fruit, it's about recognizing that your body's chemistry has changed. What worked when you were younger doesn't necessarily serve you now. So, if fresh bananas can quietly drain your vitality, what do you think dried fruit is doing to your testosterone? Let's talk about that next. Fruit number 4 to avoid: dried fruits, the hormonal saboteur. Dried fruits seem like the perfect healthy snack. A handful of raisins here, a couple of dates there. Many men over 60 reach for them when cutting back on processed sweets, thinking they're making a smart choice. But dried fruits are one of the most deceptive foods you can eat at this stage of life. And if you're dealing with low energy, poor circulation, or fading bedroom performance, they may be making things worse without you realizing it. Here's the core problem. Dried fruits are extremely concentrated sources of sugar. When you remove the water from fruit, you're left with a small, dense package of fructose and glucose. A single cup of raisins contains over 100 grams of sugar, more than 3 cans of soda. And unlike fresh fruit, dried fruit has lost most of its fiber structure, so those sugars absorb rapidly into your bloodstream. Your insulin spikes hard. Your blood sugar crashes an hour later, and during that entire metabolic roller coaster, your testosterone production is suppressed. But there's another hidden issue. Most commercially packaged dried fruits are coated in vegetable oils to prevent them from clumping together. They're also treated with sulfites to preserve color and extend shelf life. These additives can interfere with zinc absorption, and zinc is absolutely critical for testosterone production, prostate health, and erectile function. Low zinc means weaker erections, slower recovery, and reduced sperm quality. I had a patient named Thomas, age 66, who snacked on dates every evening before bed. He thought he was making a healthy choice compared to cookies or ice cream, but what he didn't know was that those dates were keeping his blood sugar elevated all night long. When blood sugar stays high during sleep, it disrupts growth hormone release, the hormone responsible for tissue repair and testosterone recovery. Thomas was essentially sabotaging his body's natural overnight regeneration. We eliminated the dried fruit and replaced it with a small piece of dark chocolate and a few almonds. Within 3 weeks, he reported deeper sleep, stronger morning function, and more consistent energy throughout the day. If you love dried fruit, treat it like candy, an occasional indulgence, not a daily habit. And when you do eat it, pair it with protein or fat to slow the sugar absorption. All right. Now that we've covered the 4 fruits to avoid, let's flip the script, because the next 4 fruits can actually restore your circulation, protect your testosterone, and bring your vitality back naturally. Fruit number 1 to eat: pomegranate, the circulation king. If there's one fruit I recommend almost universally to men over 60, it's pomegranate. Not only is it delicious, but it's also one of the most powerful natural tools we have for restoring blood flow and protecting testosterone. Pomegranate is rich in compounds called punicolagens, potent antioxidants that reduce oxidative stress and improve the health of your blood vessel linings. And that matters tremendously because your erections depend entirely on one thing: circulation. Here's how it works. Pomegranate increases nitric oxide production in your endothelial cells, the inner lining of your arteries. Nitric oxide is the signal molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and widen. More nitric oxide means better blood flow to every part of your body, including your pelvic region. In one clinical study published in the International Journal of Impotence Research, men who drank pomegranate juice daily for 8 weeks saw measurable improvements in erectile function. Another study found that it increased salivary testosterone levels after just 2 weeks of consistent use. These aren't superficial changes. We're talking about real hormonal and vascular support from a simple fruit. I've had men walk into my office exhausted, frustrated, convinced their best years were behind them. We cleaned up their diet, added fresh pomegranate, either through half a cup of seeds or a small glass of 100% pure juice, and within 30 days, they reported firmer mornings, more energy, and restored confidence they thought was gone forever. The key is consistency and quality. Choose 100% pure pomegranate juice with no added sugar, or better yet, eat the fresh seeds. Add them to a morning smoothie, sprinkle them on Greek yogurt, or just eat them straight. Your body will respond. You'll notice it in your energy first, then in your circulation, and eventually in your performance. Now, while pomegranate opens up your circulation, the next fruit works like a shield, protecting your testosterone from silent damage while lowering the stress hormone that steals your drive, and most men have never even thought about eating it. Fruit number 2 to eat: kiwi, the testosterone shield. Kiwi might not be the flashiest fruit in the produce aisle, but for men over 60, it's one of the most underrated treasures for hormonal health and performance. This small green fruit is absolutely loaded with vitamin C, more than an orange, gram for gram. And that matters far more than most men realize. Vitamin C plays a critical role in testosterone production. It protects Leydig cells in your testes from oxidative damage. These are the cells responsible for actually producing testosterone. When they stay healthy and protected, your testosterone output stays strong. But kiwi does something else that's equally important. It reduces cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone, and it competes directly with testosterone. When cortisol is chronically elevated, from work stress, financial pressure, relationship tension, or even poor sleep, your testosterone production gets suppressed. A study conducted in Japan found that men who ate 2 kiwis daily for several weeks experienced lower blood pressure, better sleep quality, and improved emotional well-being. All of those factors directly support hormonal balance and sexual vitality. Kiwi also contains actinidin, a natural enzyme that supports digestion and nutrient absorption. As we age, our digestive efficiency declines. Even if you're eating healthy foods, you're not always absorbing the zinc, magnesium, and B vitamins your body needs for testosterone production. Kiwi helps bridge that gap. It ensures that essential nutrients actually make it into your bloodstream where they belong. Here's what I tell my patients. Eat the whole fruit, skin and all. Yes, the skin is edible. Just rinse it well or buy organic. The skin contains extra fiber and a concentrated dose of antioxidants. If you're not ready for the skin, that's fine. The inside alone is powerful enough to start shifting how your body feels. Add 1 or 2 kiwis to your daily routine, either in the morning or as an afternoon snack, and watch how your energy, mood, and drive respond over the next few weeks. Fruit number 3 to eat: watermelon, nature's circulation booster. Watermelon isn't just a refreshing summer fruit for men over 60, it's one of the most powerful natural tools you can use to support blood flow and restore erectile health. What makes watermelon so special is a compound called l-citrulline. Once inside your body, citrulline converts into L-arginine, which then triggers nitric oxide production, and nitric oxide, as I've mentioned, is absolutely essential for erections. It's the molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax. expand, and allow oxygen-rich blood to flow exactly where you need it most. But unlike synthetic medications that force this process and can come with serious side effects, headaches, vision changes, dangerous drops in blood pressure, watermelon works gently, naturally, and safely with your body's own chemistry. I've had patients in their late 60s and early 70s who began eating watermelon daily, especially on an empty stomach in the morning, and within 2 to 3 weeks they notice firmer morning erections, better stamina during intimacy, and improved daytime energy. It's hydrating, easy to digest, naturally low in fat, and doesn't spike insulin the way high-sugar fruits do. Here's how to get the most benefit. Eat fresh watermelon slices rather than store-bought juice, which often contains added sugar and has been pasteurized, destroying much of the citrulline content. If you prefer drinking it, blend it fresh yourself at home. And here's the insider tip. Include the white rind, the part just beneath the red flesh. That's where the highest concentration of citrulline is stored. Some men even combine fresh watermelon juice with a little ginger or a squeeze of lemon for an extra performance boost. The ginger improves circulation even further, and the lemon helps alkalize your system. The goal here isn't just to have one strong moment, it's to build lasting vascular health over time. Watermelon supports both immediate nitric oxide production and long-term blood vessel integrity. Now, while watermelon boosts what flows through your body, the next fruit protects what's already inside, your testosterone, your brain function, and even your memory. It's small, dark, and incredibly powerful. Fruit number 4 to eat. Blueberries, the hormone protector. Blueberries may be small, but for men over 60, they carry an outsized impact on hormonal health, vascular function, and cognitive performance. These deep blue fruits are packed with anthocyanins, powerful plant compounds that protect your blood vessels, reduce systemic inflammation, and defend your testosterone from silent cellular damage. What makes blueberries especially valuable is how they support both the mind and the body. They help older men stay mentally sharp, emotionally balanced, and physically responsive. Here's what happens as we age. Oxidative stress becomes one of the biggest enemies of male vitality. It damages the cells responsible for producing testosterone. It weakens the endothelial lining of your blood vessels, and it dulls nerve sensitivity, making it harder to achieve and maintain firm erections. Blueberries act like nature's cleanup crew. They neutralize those damaging free radicals and restore a healthier internal environment for your hormones to thrive. That translates to stronger erections, faster recovery between intimate encounters, and clearer mental focus throughout the day. Multiple studies have shown that regular blueberry consumption improves insulin sensitivity, reduces brain fog, and enhances memory. All of those factors tie directly to how confident and capable you feel in your body. One study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that men who ate blueberries regularly had better cognitive function and improved vascular health compared to those who didn't. I often tell my patients to start their morning with half a cup of fresh blueberries, toss them into Greek yogurt, blend them into a smoothie, or eat them on their own. The results speak for themselves. Over time, many men report better focus, stronger drive, and a renewed sense of connection in their relationships. They feel more present, more engaged, more alive. Blueberries are also low in sugar and high in fiber, making them ideal for maintaining stable blood sugar and protecting testosterone throughout the day. They won't spike your insulin. They won't crush your energy. They just quietly do their work in the background. Add them daily, and within a few weeks, you'll notice the difference, not just in your performance, but in how you feel mentally and emotionally. So now that you know which fruits heal and which fruits harm, how do you bring it all together? Let me show you. Let me bring this all together for you. If you're a man over 60, the fruits you choose each day matter more than you might think. Grapes, canned fruit cocktails, bananas, and dried fruits may seem harmless, but they quietly drain your testosterone, spike your insulin, and weaken your circulation. In contrast, pomegranate, kiwi, watermelon, and blueberries actively restore your blood flow, protect your hormones, and support your intimate vitality. You don't need perfection. You just need consistency. Your body still remembers how to be strong, confident, and alive. Give it the right nutritional support and it will rise to meet you. One choice, one day, one decision at a time. Now, if this information resonated with you, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to Men's Vitality Hub. I release new videos every week on hormonal health, prostate protection, and strategies to help you age powerfully, not passively. And here's what I want you to do right now. Drop a comment below and tell me which fruit surprised you most. Was it grapes, bananas, or one of the healing fruits you hadn't thought about before? Your engagement helps me understand what's actually useful to you, and it helps other men find this information when they need it most. Small choices, big impact. Every single day. I'm Dr. Christine Rodriguez, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself, because you're worth it.